Alrighty, guys, the pain is nearly done. However, we got to remember the last 2-3 days, we did start to lose a trend when it comes to the altcoins. And today we're going to speak about them getting a little bit cheaper. However, I think it is a incredible buy zone. We got to not be a little bit trapped from the small little bounce that we are seeing. We are seeing one more strong bounce or one more strong dip incoming. You can see I'm a little bit late this morning because the boss has spoken. The boss has said, Dad, I want your attention. I want your attention. Please give me love. That's why we're late. But guys, today, let's go through buy zones. Let's speak about that. Right now, it's not a strong enough bounce. However, we're seeing good news with ETH, right? Yeah. We're seeing ETH. We're seeing the SEC sitting there saying there's not much that we can do to stop this, right? And that means, guys, I'm telling you, I did a tweet this morning that one green candle is going to take all the pain away. But right now, let's prepare for a little bit more blood. Let's get through a little bit more buys. Yes, say hello. Say hello. Say hello, world. Say hello. Say what's up. So, guys, I'm not wasting time. Let's go. Happy Wednesday to you all. And let's go. Alrighty, guys, happy Wednesday to you all. What's happening? It's hot in here. Hot, hot, hot. How are we doing? Pop in the chats. I want to see the likes flowing. I want to see everyone pumping up. We're going to get through this patch, guys. Come on. We've been through worse. I actually want to show you this over here quickly for a second. If we go over here, this is where we were 3 years ago, right? 3 years ago, exact same sort of time, exact same sort of place. This is where the altcoins were. The altcoins were actually, it was actually marked the bottom. Keeg said this morning, and he looked at it to the day. You know, this was the previous bottom month. So we saw this in this phase over here in the 2021 run. And I think we are still in the 2020 phase. However, the timing is incredible when you see these things. And you can see we actually had the big dip off. And Keegs actually said, you're pretty funny. He's like, we kind of got it soft, bro. He's like, yeah, we saw 50% dip. Now we're sitting on a 20 to 30% dip when it comes to the altcoins. Like it used to be worse. Okay, than what we saw then. And what I was saying then is that's because we haven't started alt season yet. We haven't started the real push yet. You know, when your alts are going up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds to thousands of percent, and then they pull back 50, 60%. However, the time is matching beautifully. And if you see the RSI is matching beautifully too. The only thing is, do you see how the RSI over here continue to go down when the alt season, when the alt massive rally, the second leg of the rally actually went through? And that's going to be a very big signal that we must look at going into the future, is when the RSI is doing this and this is going up, it was actually a massive trap. It was actually the sell-off point over here. So it's quite interesting to see if this is about to repeat the same sort of thing, where we're going to have RSI come down, markets start to rip incredibly strong and giving us that trap signal. So very, very, very interesting. So guys, how are we doing? If you're brand new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Again, I brought my Vibe t-shirt on. I hope you guys have brought your Vibe t-shirt on. And again, you know, I appreciate it. I got a couple of messages yesterday of people saying, you know, your energy, Sheldon. Your energy is keeping me strong in the game. And that's what we're going to be for each other again. So not only by joining banter, you know, are you joining your incredible hosts, you're also joining a very powerful, positive community. And I think that's what you need in a space. You need to be positive when the markets are red. You need to be greedy when the markets are red. You need to look at it as opportunity and as a blessing that the markets are red and you're able to fish at these crazy levels, even though we might be out of money, even though we bought a little bit too much. You know, you have to understand that this is opportunity for the next run. And the best times to ever become good or make a lot of money within crypto is getting through the massive red dip. So let's get going through everything. The first thing I want to say is we have Baked launching, guys. We know Gummy. It's been insane. Gummy's done incredibly well. We have Baked launching in the end of the month. On the 30th, Baked is launching. So where it's launching first is the exchange called Blowfin. And you're going to get an airdrop of Baked on the Blowfin exchange. So do me a favor, go below in the description. You'll see it now. It's in today's show. It won't be in this one that I'm showing you. But if you go in the description, you will find the Blowfin link. And any trades that you take, the more trades you take, the more part of the airdrop you'll actually be getting. See why this is taking its time to load up over here. Okay, but nonetheless, in the description of the show, guys, you will find Blowfin links. Go sign up a Blowfin account, incredible exchange to use. And that's where Gummy is launching first. And it will launch within a couple of days. Baked, sorry. That's where Baked will be launching in a couple of days. And if you see here, let's just go below. Blowfin. Where is our Blowfin link? We got it in the description, right, Matt? Yeah. You'll find it in this show's description over here. You'll find the Blowfin link. That's how you get part of the baked airdrop, but he's coming. Plus, guys, do not miss Rand show today. We have a very big gummy announcement. Massive. Top G status. That's all I'm going to say. Top G status in the space. It's going to be a fantastic, I think it's crazy, actually. I can't believe we're doing it. Can't believe we're doing it. We have something very big for Gummy, guys. So make sure you do not miss Rand show today. And again, try to get as much baked as you possibly can. You know, someone actually said it last night. You know, I know Jay said it as well. And there was a couple of people. I did Sniper School last night. Remember, you have 1 more week to join this cohort of Sniper School, guys. In the description below, go sign up to Sniper School. 1 more week, and then it's closed. And then when the markets rip and everything's going and you're not educated, like, you know, you have to wait another couple of weeks to get into the next cohort. So make sure that you have joined. But what someone said last night, and what Jay also said, is Jay started off with nothing. Okay, he started with nothing, right? Because a lot of people basically don't have money. Let's say you don't have money in the crypto space. He started with nothing. He ended up getting a little bit of Gummy. Okay, and I think he got a couple of $100 of Gummy. And he ended up shorting and actually getting the drop within the market. You know, he's sitting at least around $30,000 to $40,000 now, and he started with nothing. So what I'm trying to say is you have opportunities of getting a baked airdrop. You have opportunities of getting a Gummy airdrop. You have opportunities of getting these things, even if you're sitting on a very low amount of money. You know, you have lifelines in crypto. So make sure you are using, if you are bored right now and you're waiting for the markets to pump, please go farm some airdrops. Please go do something on the chains. Please go do something within crypto, because you're going to get this gift that comes out of nowhere and it's going to give you another lifeline. So don't sit here and thinking you can't be doing nothing. There's a lot for you to be doing. Okay, so again, by using the Banter Bubbles app, by using these things, just use your time to do these things, because it might change everything for you. Rand takes off his shirt. Yes, today's gonna be very interesting. Plus, I think you're gonna be very surprised what I look like. Anyway, okay, let's get going, guys. Let's get going. Okay, so little push in the market at the moment. Little bounce, small bounce. I don't think it's real. I still think we need a better buy zone for Bitcoin. I still think we're in the phase of, you know, either Bitcoin's going to hold really well in this dip, and it's not going to come down much at all, you know, in that point. And by that, I mean another 5-10%, you know, sort of thing, or Bitcoin's going to catch up. You know, I'm still looking at more downside when it comes to altcoins, though. So we lost this trend a couple of days back over here, the important charts that we've been waiting for. Now, this doesn't mean that the bull runs over. It just meant, hey, like, prepare for a bigger correction, you know, prepare for a decent sized correction, and possibly prepare for an altcoin capitulation. That was one of the big things that we had to pay attention to, is the capitulation of altcoins. We're starting to see the dominance rise pretty strongly. But what we're also seeing then is we're getting near a very strong bottom of alts. And I actually remember the last phase before the alt season rally actually started, we actually capitulated. You know, before the last bull market that actually happened, you know, we did have the capitulation phase. And I like to call it this phase over here. Do you remember that we finally got somewhere with altcoins? And I look at it like this. If you had to look the altcoin chart, we are sitting in that phase where we started to do really well. Then we had the double, but we had this big moment over here, which is the capitulation, where altcoins actually dropped from an 85 billion market cap. It dropped already to 27. You know, and that was catastrophic. That was a big drop that really scared the entire market. Thought that altcoins were over. It was only Bitcoin, you know, that was going to survive, and ETH and things like that. But nonetheless, it was the trigger to a massive run. So again, I think we're at that point where a capitulation is a little bit short time frame hard saw, and it is hard to get through it and to be motivated through it. But however, you do need the big capitulation sometimes before the mega pump. You know, sometimes you must dump before you pump, right? When Bitcoin's at its dumpiest is when it's going to be at its pumpiest. What's it called? That sort of thing. But it's true. Okay, so capitulation sucks. However, I think we do still got to have some sort of excitement for us. We got excitement that we had, you know, the possibility of alt season maybe starting. It got delayed. I think memes took over. Memes came in. They became all the hype. We had a alt season when it comes to the meme tokens. But I don't think it was the real alt season. And I think what you're seeing now is a flush out with the markets. I think you get into a point where, hey, it's time to get back to reality. Let's flush out a bunch of the junk. Let's get the memes to suffer for a while. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the memes are dropping pretty hard. Even the interest in memes are getting down to a while. So I think we're entering a little bit of a meme bear market. Okay. However, I do think it comes back in a couple of weeks to a couple of months. But that will be when alts are already running. I think that's when everything's already growing, and it's going to be that massive retail clamber, which is going to bring in a bunch of people. Tons of people are just going to come in, and I think memes is going to do that. But for now, I think the market's flushing it out. And I think what you're going to see when the market eventually bounces now, I do think you're going to see quality rise. I was very upset when I saw Ethereum performing so poorly, over the last 2 years. I'm so glad that I think we're finally going to have an ETH season again. I finally think we're going to have Ethereum enter the party and really start, because I remember the last bull market, ETH was a very powerhouse coin. It was incredible how it would lead. It would outperform a lot of altcoins on specific days and things like that. And we just haven't had that this time. And, we haven't had Solana break all-time highs. We haven't had the real alts do incredible things. Some of them did well, but we haven't had that real push yet. And I think that's why we are currently going through this current phase now. I think it's a flush out. It's a reality check. And I think quality is going to start to rise. Then I think the junk comes back. Remember, there was 2 waves of the NFTs. NFTs only came through in the last 6 months of the bull market. The first year and a half of the bull, the NFT came in, it had a die season, and then it really rampaged up. And this is the same with gaming as well. I think gaming started our rally pretty strong through the bear, but I think gaming is going to be an absolute rocket, when the market starts to wake up again. And this is big opportunities. So I think what I've been trying to say, we'll speak about my book in a second. I see someone says they're waiting for my book. Excited about that. But I think what's going to happen now is I do think it's that point of, Rand said it perfectly. Get rid of the junk in your portfolio, jump into a bunch of quality. And I think you're going to soon understand why. Okay, and then there'll be a time where it's diversified, take on a little bit of the memes again, use it. But memes are there to make quick money, get out, and these sort of things. So I think where we're at, psychology-wise, I think we're actually at a good place. Now, let's speak about the capitulation. So for me, there's a massive zone here on the alts, which is the previous level over here. So remember that when we are going through, and we're breaking zones, and no doubt about it, alts had a semi-decent run this year. You basically saw 2 waves that happened like this. Then you saw one little fast dip off that happened over here, and then you saw the side, and you saw a lower high. Now, the lower high for me indicated that, hey, for the first time, when we dumped off here, we made a low, okay? And now we're making a lower high. And what that indicates for me is, hey, keep eye out for the lower low. Once you get the lower low, I'm looking at this as an A, B, C correction. It's called a 3-wave down. Okay, I don't need to get too much into that, but nonetheless, because we put in a lower high over here, indicates for me, hey, pay attention to a lower low. Now that lower low, I don't think is too low, but I do think it is a lower low. And what I saw here is when we had this dip off here, we didn't actually hit this zone over here. So whenever you break a previous high, you actually want to come and test it as support. Remember when Bitcoin broke through 30? And we needed it went to 38, then it came back to 30, and then it went through, and then it broke 40, and it went back to 40, and then it went through, and then it went through all the way to 50, back. Do you see how every level that it passes, it comes, test, goes, comes, test, go? We haven't had the true test there yet. So what I'm seeing here at the moment is I do think there's a little bit more downside in alts, and I think there's slightly lower lows to come through. However, I think it's going to be the massive turn signal. Not only, again, are we seeing massive bullish divergence, huge bullish divergence, there's still a week or 2 of the RSI dragging down. However, this is very bullish when you have a RSI dragging down for a long period of time, okay? Because then what you see is you start to see the rise very quickly. And I always spoke about this, that yes, we are going through a little bit of a bear phase within the market. However, you're getting like a little bit of a slow bleed. You're not getting any massive pushes. And I spoke about the volume too. I said the volume is tapering down into the dump. We're tapering down, okay? We're not going up in volume, okay? And I remember the difference when we saw the last bear cycle is the volume was spiking up, when Bitcoin was having those big drops, when it literally dropped from that one day of 65 to 40K, like that was a big sell-off. That was a big thing. We're not seeing so much of that. So what I'm trying to get to here is actually this tweet over here that I said, and I said this a little bit earlier today. What is it? That's yesterday's show. I want to show you this over here. I said it here. Just before, I said, keep buying specials. One fat green candle is going to take all the pain away. Okay. And I believe that. I really think we're at a phase now where we are going to have this, but the moment we hit proper interest, and I'm telling you, it's probably the stars are going to align to a ETH ETF. Something is going to happen, news event. When we hit the zone, you're going to get this ultimate fear. You're going to get the whole market biting their damn nails until we hit this one phase. And everything's going to change. And I think we're going to have one fat candle that's going to absorb a lot of all the bearishness that we saw in this phase over here. However, I do think there's a little bit more downside. So I'm looking at right now, we are pushing up. I think a lot of people think, oh, maybe this is a little bit of a bounce. I don't think so. I think it's a low push up. I even think we can go up a little bit more. And then I do think there's another event that takes us to the downside for now. I will speak about, let's say this was the bottom. What do we do later on then? Okay, guys, there's nothing wrong with waiting for the capitulation because that's where you're going to be prepared to buy the levels. If all of a sudden things change and we start to pump up, I'll show you how you add back in. Okay, you add in on these breaks, you add in later on. So right now, it's actually worthy if you're sitting on a bit of cash. Hey, put some limit orders in for some massive specials. So if you catch them, it'll be amazing. You'll go into money very quickly once you catch them. But also, if it doesn't go in our way, we have a plan. We have a massive plan. But right now, I have to stick to my rules. I told you guys the entire year, if we break this line, I'm preparing for more downside. And I can't change that thesis now. That's exactly what I'm looking at over there. So again, one little push up here, and I'm seeing another push down a week or two of a bit more redness within the market. And then I do think we're going to explode in that time. There's a few other charts that's indicating the same. If you look at this when it comes to the USDT dominance, okay, I have a shorter term trend. However, I took the main top trend here, and it looks like the USDT dominance needs to go up a little bit more. Okay, it needs to push up a little bit more. As you can see, the weekly stock has crossed, and it looks like it wants to push up one more time over here. What you're also getting in that phase is as we're pushing up, the RSI is making higher. You're going to get a bearish divergence signal as well. Now, a divergence signal means it's a strong signal. It means you'll get a strong rejection. Or if you see bullish divergence, you're going to get a really strong bounce, especially if you're catching these things on the weekly. You know, that's really, really strong things. We actually had it a couple of weeks back on ETH. And look how ETH literally pumped from 3,000 to 3.8 from that bullish divergence signal. Okay, so what it's showing here is a little bit more up. So what does that mean? People are going to jump into a bit of dollars. And then what you're going to get is something like this. You see this? This is what we need, guys. We need a reversal candle. We need a reversal candle. And jumping back to the total 3, what that basically looks like is either this candle must go green this week, and that will be a reversal, perfect time. Or we got to send one down next week, turn into a green candle and rocket ships from there we push up. So we're looking for that reversal candle to come into play. Let's go through a couple other things. So obviously dominance is rampaging up. But guys, it is actually a bearish pattern. I know I've been speaking a lot about dominance coming down, but nonetheless, it is bearish when you are tripling, dribbling like this. You literally just dribble this. The same thing here is one fat candle will come like this at some point, and that for me will be the alt major candle over there. So it does look like dominance will probably continue up if the markets go red. Okay. Oh, don't we have enough likes? No. How many likes we got? 750. 750. Okay, guys, love you all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and yeah, much love. like. I want to see the likes fly through the roof, guys. Nonetheless, so it looks like the dominance. So again, you know, just eyeing out again when it comes to the capitulation. Let's go through a little bit of ETH. ETH is bouncing, guys. I don't know if you see it, but ETH is showing strength. Every time it hits support, bounce. Looking good. However, I do think that fat zone of that 3.2 is where we're likely to go if we do capitulate. One more push down. You know, you'll see at the same time that RSI is coming down, slowly crossing over here, coming down to the point. But I think one more push down, you could see there's a lot of interest. And if you think that this candle was sexy, I think you're going to love the next one that comes in the next couple of weeks for ETH. I think you're going to see a fat candle that's going to break the highs. And I think this is going to trigger the next phase, which is that phase up over here, where we really start getting ETH going. And you can see the ETH to Bitcoin is also looking strong. Look at that pin bar candle. ETH, the moment that there's a bit of bullishness, and obviously yesterday was the SEC tweet saying, what was it? Basically,
that it's not a security.
It's not a security. Massive. And we got XRP, possible news.
Well, XRP are thinking the same's going to happen.
Okay, so XRP is thinking the same is going to happen. XRP. There might be a lot more happening with XRP than what we think. Okay, guys, let's go into the short-term analysis. Let's quickly speak about the plans of the day and what I'm seeing with Bitcoin. So at the moment, obviously, Bitcoin losing 66 for me is a no-brainer that I'm now looking at this play over here, which is the inverse head and shoulders on Bitcoin. So right now, as it stands, I'm not thinking that the late 50s just yet, but I do think definitely the 61, 62,000 is where we're going to come down and start to dip our toes into. Right now, we've lost the support. There's a little bit of support over here, but I think there's a little bit more pain incoming. And the trend is the only thing that's going to change my mind. So the trend, once we break the trend, that will be the change of mind. Right now, a little bit more downside, and, you know, be wary that right now, yesterday we actually lost support. So for me, this is a retest of support, and we should have another leg to the downside over here. And then we could look at some possible rockets. Let's also speak about then, okay, what about if Bitcoin catches up? Maybe dominance actually goes down now. Okay. And that means alts will capitulate, but so will Bitcoin. So maybe we need a shakeout in Bitcoin. Okay. Because I don't know about you guys, but I see this other thing broken. Where is it? This fear and greed, the stupid fear and greed thing that's still saying we're greedy. It's ridiculous. So maybe we need a flush of it. Maybe it is giving us a sign. Maybe it's saying, hey, Bitcoin needs to catch up too. If that comes into play, guys, again, 61 is a big zone for me, but then 56. 56 will be the area of Bitcoin catching up. This would only be, though, if dominance goes down on the next major drop. And I'll show you that this is then the phase that I'll be looking at on Bitcoin, which is this one over here, which is the bear phase that I gave you guys. Well, there we go. We basically come down, we test the major lows of this wick over here. You know, we also saw a lot of fear in the stage. Price bounced really quick here. So what they tend to do is they send price back down to that low range over there. No retail, no one will be buying Bitcoin except probably institutions and smart money. That's exactly it. Touch the trend over here. Again, around that 50, I would say around between the 55 and 60K range, and then rocket ships come in after that. Let's obviously go through a couple of the coins. So again, ETH good bounce, but I don't think it's a real one just yet. Injective lost support yesterday. So again, there's two levels on Injective here. A small retest, and we dump off immediately in the next few hours. We have another massive red push to the downside, okay? Or we do go up 2-3 days, like I said. We go and test, and then we have the drop-off over there. So there's two plays here. I think this zone is going to get hit on Injective. Remember, I have the right to be bearish now. Not to say we are going there, but I have the right to start thinking that, hey, we might get a $14 Injective. Because if I don't think like that, I'm not going to do anything if it does get there. You know, I'm not going to be prepared if that happens. So I am looking at worst case scenario in that sense. You know, and like, let's say we get really big capitulation. And again, I would pop a couple of orders. I'll definitely have some orders at $18. I'll definitely have some at $16. And I'll have some at $15. And I'll put those limit orders in, because if you can catch Injective there, guys. Previously, I saw Injective 3x into 5xing in the bull. If you're catching those entry, I think you're getting close to a 10x entry. And that's the difference. More money to the upside. Okay, more percentage to the upside when it basically comes into play. Let's look at things like Sol. Sorry, guys. I know, you know, we want to see a little bit of hope of bullishness today. Sol last trend. There we go. Sol last trend. So right now, as it stands, we lost trend. Unless we get back in there. And again, we will then add in on those trend breaks in a couple of days. Right now, as it stands, it looks like Sol's going to have another leg down. Your big buy zones on Sol, again, is 110. And I would say $95 to $100. Those are your two, especially if you see a capitulation wick. You'll see fear, you know, max fear coming into play. Again, when it comes to things like Phantom, lost support yesterday. So this thing, there's a continuation that could happen today. My two areas here is around 40 cents, 35 to 40 cents for Phantom. It hurts, but it's incredible because just back to the highs, you 4x, guys. Not even back to all-time highs, not even back to the major rally. I want to show you here where you're back at Phantom. I still think Phantom's going to get over here later on within the cycle, if not back to the all-time highs, right? So by getting it at these major zones, you know, popping in those levels, you know, it's a great opportunity. We got Chainlink in the house. Chainlink, remember, we got 𝗟𝗚𝗙𝗘 also extremely bullish. You can see 𝗟𝗚𝗙𝗘 is very bullish, and he actually explained it to me one day. He said, Sheldon, it's the glue. This is the glue of the whole ecosystem. You got all of these chains, all these different things. Chainlink glues everything together. There's no way that this thing is not going to be over $100 or $200 in the future. Speaking about that, guys, Commonwealth is also one of Kyle's things. They have an incredible proud announcement. Nexus Network as Alpha Fund's next investment partner. Another incredible string to the Commonwealth bow. Remember, I spoke a lot about Commonwealth, guys. Go below. They're actually there for the community. You want to get into early access tokens, they're incredible. So go follow Commonwealth on Twitter. Go have a look at what they're doing. Link is below if you want to find out more about Commonwealth. But nonetheless, back to Chainlink over here. You know, this lost support yesterday. So it lost support. Okay, and for me, this is what's in play at the moment. It can happen from now. It can happen in a few percent later, but I'm looking at another push down. And I think your big buy zones is $11 to $12 and $9 to $10 on Chainlink. And I think it's I think it's crazy if you're not adding Chainlink at those levels. Look at Immutable X, lost support. So any push up now is fake, in my opinion, for now. And I'm looking at another leg down. So guys, I know it's hard. Bite your nails, but we're probably looking at another 20%, 25%. It will be fast though. I don't think it's going to last. I think all of this redness over here, again, will capitulate and it'll be sucked up in one fat candle. And it'll probably come on a massive news event, things like that. Right now, you just got to fish and buy what you can and do what you can. DOT lost support yesterday, so I'm looking at lower levels of DOT. Let's go through a couple of other ones. Let's speak about the couple of memes as well. Not that I'm a meme trader, but let's speak about 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗙 and things like that. So 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗙 lost a very important trend. Okay, so this is why I do think memes are cooling down a little bit. And this is a retest. We're not breaking out or anything just yet, but it does give me an idea that 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗙 will come down to these major levels over here. You know, also looking at around another 25-30%. Then I think if you want to dip your toes, guys, if I'm going to be honest, I like memes in a certain aspect, but I like the bigger ones. So if you can get the bigger ones that have proven already that they're powerhouses in a bull market and you can get them at cheap discounts, I don't think it's a problem having a little bit of a meme bag. And remember, all you're going to do with your meme bag is you're going to have low risk, medium risk, high risk. That's all. So if you've got $1,000 to put into memes, probably around $500 is going to be in your big memes. And then, but they must be at specials. They must be at really good levels. Then you can have a couple of blue chips and a couple of small little ones that you play. Just use your money correctly. Stop putting all your money into small things and things like that. And please don't become lotto guys. A lot of people are lotto. This one will change my life. No, you dedicated to crypto every day, learning how to make money. That's going to change your life. Not lotto, okay? Not one thing. Like you actually putting in the time is going to change it. There's things like Floki, small bounce here. However, I think Floki is going to come down to these major levels over here, which is actually indicating another 40% drop in Floki. So I think the ones that pumped really hard are going to push down pretty hard. If you look at the ETH-based tokens, they're looking strong on the bounces. So you can see it very clearly. So things like Optimism, I'll be buying. Okay, again, I'm looking probably around 1.3 to 1.2 to 1.3 and 1.4 to 1.5 as my two buy zones of Optimism, but I'll be buying some Optimism. I'll be buying some Arbitrum at some crazy levels here. 80 cents, get some Arbitrum. You know, there we got Aptos. Aptos at these levels. Again, everything 20, 25% lower. Lido is showing a lot of strength. Lido actually wants to pump. ETH play, look at Lido. So it gives you an indication that, hey, the ETH ecosystem is definitely looking fired up. So if you get a nice little special on Lido, let's speak about XRP. Keep this flag in mind again. Something's happening, guys. I don't know, but I'm seeing strength. I'm seeing it takes a little bit of time here, but I do think building a little bit of an XRP trade doesn't have to be an investment, a trade. I think you're going to get one of these fat candles. You know, these fat ones where you just you maybe double your money in a day or two, and then I'll take all my profits out. But I do think XRP is a play. I think it's something that's going to give you a nice little push. I want to remind you again that 𝗕𝗬𝗓 is at insane levels. This thing even capitulates a little bit more. 𝗕𝗬𝗓 is a massive opportunity, guys. Not only do I think it's going to get back to the highs, which is already a 5x away. Okay, I do think this is a $10 coin in the future. I really do. 𝗕𝗬𝗓 is amazing. We have this. This is that dog coin. Dog meme. Dog meme, if you like that. Oh, let's speak about these ones that have gotten cheaper. I now think you can buy Fetch. Yeah. I really do. It's cheaper. This thing was 3.5. It's 1.2. Let's go buy some AI now. Do you see why it's so important not to buy when the narrative's cooking? Remember, AI was rocking. Render was pumping. Fetch was pumping. Everything was pumping. Don't buy when the narrative's pumping. Buy when the narrative's dying. That's where you get in. Now you're at a level like, hey, put some AI in your damn portfolio. Fetch is cheap now. Fetch is at really, really good levels. Same as Render. You know, Render, let's look at the levels here. Render lost a bit of support. I think there's two levels for Render. I think the $6 range is nice, and I think the $5 range is also really nice too. So Render's also really a good play. Things like AVAX, look at this, guys. We lost support yesterday. I'm not bullish yet on here. Push up, another leg down, and then I see rockets. I really do. I really, really, really do. I see a massive, massive push coming in from those areas over there. Casper, I'll prep for some Casper lower over here. Guys, we are literally, I would say, there's a couple more days that we're just going to be focusing on buys. And then it's focusing on the money stages and these sort of things. So let's have a look. Any other major ones? I actually want to see here what's been our big push. Look at Lido. Really, really, really good. Oh, what I wanted to do as well, guys, is let's quickly look at a couple of Rand's coins. You know, Rand's always been speaking a lot about his fundamental tokens. Let's see how a couple of these are looking. And I also want to dip my toes into a little bit of the gaming ones quickly. Let's go see Rand's list. I don't think I have his whole list here, but I got some of his list. So obviously, Arweave, guys. Arweave. It looks cool here. I think always definitely some buys at the early 20s, but I do think prep for $16 to $18 Arweave. I think that's a great, great, great opportunity. Let's speak about Ton. Ton is losing trend now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy it yet. Don't buy it yet. Where I think you buy Ton is around the 5 to 5.5. There, I think it's decent. I still think it's too expensive at the moment, but I do think Ton's, if you catch it at good levels, I do think it's a good one to add to your portfolio. Things like Sui, drop the major zone for me. Sui around 50 to 60 cents still. It's a 4x back to the tops, guys. This should really be exciting you. Really, to get these specials that we haven't seen for a while. There's the Sui chart over there. Let's go. Phantom. Obviously spoke about Phantom. What's this one over here? Based AI. Based AI. We've been speaking quite a bit of...
the best AIs.
Say again?
It's one of the best.
One of the best AIs. This is getting cheap. So Rand's obviously very bullish on this. Let's go look at a couple of fibs. Check where we're at on the fibs. If we've lost 618, which we've just lost now, we're going to 786. So I just want to pop this in over here. This is the next major buy zone. Boom. That's where you prepare the major buy. Okay, again, you're getting those buys. It's a 6x back to the top. Come on. That's a good one. Pendle. Pendle's actually going against trend at the moment. However, it looks like the 618. The market's capitulates. This is where you want to catch Pendle. $4. Let's just put in my big green box again over here. It was around $4 to $4. There's it over there. What was this one? Gearbox. Gearbox from Random Man over here. If I look, say again on Gearbox. Really, yeah. So we're in a little bit of a buy zone now, a little bit. However, you got to put the capitulation in mind. So around about the 0.009 to 10 sort of area when it comes to the Gearbox. Let's speak about Thorchain, $4. Guys, if we lose here, Thorchain's going to $3, and you're crazy if you're not buying Thorchain at $3. Insane. So there we go. I have dry powder. Fantastic. Let's go through also a couple of, I just want to pop in here in the game charts. I also want to pop a little bit of Hustle's coins here. I want to speak about a little bit of specials when it comes to the gaming. There's Illuvium. Okay, so let's show you over here. Illuvium's basically on its last line of support, and then it's going to capitulate. There. If it loses this, torpedo. Okay. But one of the best damn gaming tokens. Incredible. I literally think if you are getting buys around 50, I think you're going to 10 to 20 extra money. I really do, especially when it blows off. Again, we'll be selling into that. Okay. But here we go. Here's the areas of around $60 for Illuvium. Huge. Massive special. NAKA at $1. Lost support. Guys, NAKA's going to go back to 80 cents. I can't believe it. I absolutely can't believe it. This thing was at nearly $4 this year, back at 80 cents. It's crazy not to be buying these specials over here. And remember, guys, I want you to understand that you are at the point where you can take on risk within your portfolio. The market's capitulating. Okay, now prepare for another 25% drop, but don't be afraid to go get some really good specials on not smaller caps, but like, you can take on some risk. The rule always says when the Bitcoin RSI is sitting at the bottom, you're allowed to go and take on some risk within your portfolio. The only time you're not allowed to take risk is when we're in this phase of 30, 40, 50. You can't take on any more risk. You actually should be focusing on selling. But as it stands right now, you can take on more risk. So NAKA is incredible. Vulcan Forge. This thing's going to come back down to... Guys, no brainer. Another one that's also big here is Prime. Prime's at a little buy zone now. But again, Prime will probably get to around $7. Massive opportunity. Gala Games, Beam. This is great opportunities for you guys to load up at these crazy areas. 2,000 likes for private. Don't worry. When we get a pump markets happy, I know you guys will hit the 2,000 likes. For now, it's okay. Keep smashing those likes though, and keep hitting it strong. Guys, I want to remind you guys about Evo as well. Go below and open up an Evo account. Decentralized exchange, guys. Super important for you to have a decentralized exchange. No login, no username and password. You connect your wallet. Start getting used to decentralized finance, guys. Start getting used to it. It's an exchange that you can trade on, but start getting used to the new why crypto was actually invented, right? In those areas. Okay. Anything else? Let's go look at the gummy price. Let's look at gummy price. Let's go look at gummy price. Let's go see over here. I will. Let's drop in here. Let's go look at gummy. Okay, so
What's that move from the bottom?
I'll look at the bottom move now, but keep an eye on this trend. Just keep an eye here. We're having a little bit of a breakout now, short time frame. Just keep an eye on this chart today. Let's see what it does. All right, gummy will really get going once it's above that 6 cent mark. Then again, I think we're going back to 10 cents. I know our ultimate goal is $1. That's where we want to go in. But I think price is showing there's a nice move coming. There's something happening really good. Blowfin is a really cool exchange, guys. It really, really is an amazing exchange. Let's also go look at a little bit of leverage. See where the leverage markets are at. Gives us an idea of where they're going to go first. Are we going to go test first? Look here. It's still sitting there. It's still sitting there, guys. More down. More down. There is a little bit of an up, so they might go up first. Okay, and then down. You can definitely see there's still leverage sitting at the lower areas. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Let's jump on again tomorrow, and let's see where we are tomorrow. Just main thing here, stay damn focused. Stay focused, stay in the game with me. The red deals will be done in the next week or two, and then we'll be back to the rockets in the green. Guys, have a fantastic day. Much love to you all, and I'll see you all tomorrow.